The number one way you know you got critical voice problems is if you have a belief system right here, right there on the front of the brain, that your story's got to be perfect. Or somebody with a gun's going to come to your house and shoot you. I don't know. Whatever reason that you have that belief system, it's in there. You got to write a perfect story. You are a person who has to be perfect. Therefore, it needs to be going on over and over and over and over. Well, every time you go over it, of course, you just take the originality out, which you can't see, and that's the real key early on, is you just can't see this on sentence by sentence level, but we'll work on that more next week, on how to see it. But it must be perfect. That's number one. That's number one. That's a killer. That's just death. There is no long-term writer, none that I know of, that thinks everything has to be perfect. In fact, every long-term writer I know of, if you really cornered them, and with a couple drinks underneath their belt probably, and got them to say, what did you really think of that novel you wrote? And they'd say, oh, yeah, it was flawed here, and there was a problem here, and I really didn't like how I handled that. I wish I could have done that again now that I have some hindsight on it, and but I had to get it out, and it was done, and I didn't care, and I moved on. Yep. I have a great system. This is my personal system on this. I just don't care. I just don't care. I care that I get a clean manuscript. Oh, I really try to get a clean manuscript. That's why I have proofers and a good first reader and everything else. But my attitude is, I'm entertaining me. Only me. I'm going to entertain me. I'm going to sit there and have a blast. And when the story's done, I can't care anymore. Because I've gone down that rat hole. Oh my God, have I gone down that rat hole? I would get into oh, I could spend the next 10 videos literally going on and on about what that rat hole does and how many years I personally have wasted caring. Now, I'm not saying you don't do your best work. So if you're hearing me say that, stop now. You do your best damn work. And then you release, and you don't care after you release. You do your best work while you're working. But boy, oh boy, when that gets done, it is not some event. It's not something to be celebrated. It's not something to be whatever. It's just what you do. Writers are people who sit and write. That's what we do. Oh my God, it's a great job. Oh, and if you can get it as your job where you're making your living out of it, oh, for heaven's sakes, don't let this one come in at all. Just keep having fun. Are you going to get bad reviews? Yes. Are you going to get good reviews? Yes. Oh my God, I had this one woman on a novel that I wrote that came up, and it was a Star Trek novel, and even media books and Men in Black and all the gaming novels and Spider-Man and all the ones I wrote, I did the best work I could do on it. And this woman walks up, and she had probably a 12-year-old kid standing beside her, and he was kind of tucked a little behind her, a little embarrassed that she was walking up to me at this signing. And she said, I just wanted to thank you, and would you sign this book? And I said, oh, I'd be glad to. And she said, sign it to, and she named her son. And I went, oh, I'd be glad to, did you like the book? He nods, it doesn't say anything. And she says, yeah, it was the first book he really got reading on. Now he's a fan of reading. He loves to read. He goes on and on about reading all the time. He can't get his nose out of a book. It's wonderful. And your book is the one that convinced him that he really liked that. And so and when he saw you here, he thought he wanted to say. And so I stood up, went around the table, and went and talked to him. Spent some time with him. I had a line of people, and I said, sorry guys, just give me 5 minutes. And I went and pulled him aside, and we sat down and talked about Star Trek and what he was doing in school. And then I said, okay, I got to go back now. And I said, really great. And I walked away. His mom came back the next day and thanked me. You do the best you can. You do the best you can with every work, but you must release it. You must release it, and you have to put it out there. If I'd have been some perfectionist or some elitist saying, oh, I'm never going to write Star Trek, who knows, that kid might not be reading. Yeah.